This is the Volvo V90 Cross Country. It's a mega wagon from Volvo. And in a world today of crossovers and coupes and all those things, is the wagon still relevant? Well, the seagulls seem to think so. I quite agree with you. Thank you, guys. Well, the seagulls agree with me, and I hope you will too. This V90 Cross Country is a wonderful car, and I'll show you why. Come on, let's go. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a wagon guy, I love Volvo, so that should be said well before I do anything more on this review. But I do have about two things wrong with this car. Not wrong, but they kind of just irk me in some ways. So when I'm looking out to pull into traffic or pull out of traffic, the pillars and the mirrors are gigantic on Volvos, so the pillar and the mirror kind of meet on the right-hand side, so it's a bit difficult to see. I'm doing a lot of this and judging and checking and everything like that, and I don't know how you'd rework that, but it's something that I've noticed in my experience with the car. The second thing is a cool feature, auto high beams on this car. Very handy on back roads, or definitely, obviously, at night. But one thing that they do have a little problem with is when you're going through towns with overhead lighting, it gets a little confused and turns off the high beams on you, and then doesn't seem to turn them back on. So I don't know how the detection on that works, whether it's the radar system or a combination of other things in the car, but that was something I was noticing as well. The interior of the V90 is a pleasant place to be. It's very well appointed, as with all Volvos. But a cool thing about this car, again being the cross country, is that the air suspension makes this a very smooth ride. I'll call it the Cadillac of Sweden. Little bumps that I would be worried about in my regular car are no problem in this car. It is a very capable ride. It's also surprising to know that this car only has a 2-liter engine in it. For all the length and weight it has, 2 liters seems like a little bit, but in Volvo fashion, it is turbocharged and supercharged, giving you 316 horsepower and 295 foot-pounds of torque. So not too bad. You can zoom, 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 and haul, haul, haul. Speaking of space, let's check out the wagon in the wagon of this car. With the V90, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the, wagon part of the car. So here in the rear, there is a ton of cargo room. We fit everything we took up here just in here, but if you want even more room, which is pretty cool, you just push these buttons and watch. Seats go down, and there is a massive amount of room back here. You could sleep back here. I mean, look at this. Wow. Ugh. And it's not too bad, it's pretty comfortable. While we're still in the back end of the wagon, another neat feature is if you got your hands full, but you have the key with you, of course, just give a little kick and the door on the back will open, just like magic. So this screen functions much like an iPad if you're familiar with it. This is the home button, so if I start to go here into the GPS, I can always hit home and it brings me back to the 4 main components, which is if you want to connect your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, your telephone, music, GPS. You can also drag down for things as well here, similar to a tablet. Swipe over for all the functions of the vehicle. There's a lot of them. Function over this way for applications. So Sirius XM, Spotify, weather. It gives you nice weather notifications when there's weather information. Temperatures down here. Simply slide them up and down. Same thing for the passenger. Air, you just really touch where you want the air. Just at you and the feet. How much? It's pretty nice. And of course, on a chilly morning like today, heater seats. And for the driver, heated steering wheel. Pretty darn nice if you ask me. As I mentioned, the interior is well appointed. We just went over the screens that the driver has and the nice vertical iPad screen in the middle. What also I have here is the heads-up display. Now, some people like them, some people don't like them. I think Volvo does a nice job with this one. It's very subtle. It also is very helpful. It has my speed, the speed limit. It also has a handy feature if you're getting too close to cars. It warns you, gets brighter as you're too close, fades away as you back off. Also, when you have GPS going, it also gives you the turns coming up in the heads-up display, along with on the screens as well. So many ways to help you just be more aware of the road, not taking your eyes off the road, looking forward, not having to be distracted while you're driving, looking at where you're going. That's always helpful. Of course, this is a Volvo, so it's equipped with all the necessary safety features that Volvo has with their IntelliSafe radar system, all these sensors on the car for forward collision, backward collision, so many systems on this car for safety. That's what Volvo is known for. And I enjoy that. It's really great to have all these features and the performance of this wagon and the space to haul everything in this wagon. And it is just comfortable. The ride is so smooth in this car. It is immaculate. So all of this in this Volvo V90 does ring in at $62,000. So that is not in the high ranges of the Volvo family, but it is still pretty high up there in general speaking in terms of prices. But for this wagon, for the ability to go off-road, it's quite an impressive car for that amount of money. And if I had $62,000, I'd probably buy one. It's a lifted wagon. What more could you ask for? And for $62,000 for this car from Volvo, I say yes, please. Oh, that is pretty. Wowee. I've really enjoyed my time with the Volvo V90 Cross Country. It's an amazing vehicle from Volvo, from the safety they implement to the performance to how much cargo space you have in it. It's amazing. And to me, this is a huge wagon win for Volvo.